The following is a Just Green production brought to you by the Might Be News Network.
Woo! What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Might Be Brews, Season 3, Episode 2, the podcast where we explore the people, places, and brews of the craft beer world. My name is John. With me, as always, Mr. Steve. How you doing today?
Where's Taylor?
The man behind the board, my brother Taylor. He's over there.
He's over there.
We couldn't fit him at the table.
Oh my God, dude. This is an
But that's all right. Listen, guys. Check out the all-new mbnnetwork.com. It's never been easier to find your favorite podcast. There's 7 or 8 shows putting out content every week. Check out the new merch section, mugs, t-shirts, hoodies for each of the shows. There's also a link to our Patreon page, patreon.com/mbnnetwork. Plans start as low as $5. That gets you a free gift, access to an extra 30 minutes on each show, entry into monthly giveaways, and entry to be a contestant on the Wild Card Game Show. Woo! There's also a link to our sponsors, Eunomia CBD. That's eunomiacbd.com. They have gummies, CBD multivitamins, drops, drink enhancers, pet products, and more. That's eunomiacbd.com, EUNOMIA. CBD.com for the 5th effing time. And we're now on YouTube. Search MBN Network. Smash the subscribe button. Hit the notification button. Check us out. We're on video. We're right here.
Okay, terrific.
Taylor, when do the Might Be Brews thong hit the merch store? Is that coming? ASAP, he says.
And joining us today, again, our friends from FAM Artisan Craft Brewers, Sean and Steve. How are you guys doing today?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Steve?
Thanks for having us back.
Absolutely. So let's get right into it, guys. You did it again. Back in October, you guys won first place at the 2nd annual Dtown Brewdown. Back-to-back champs. Tell us about that. How'd that go?
All right. So, I mean, right off the bat, we won People's Choice again. So last year, 2 years ago, we won first place for the judges and first place for People's Choice.
Okay.
So this year we just won first place for the People's Choice.
Okay.
We didn't place. Just to be clear, there was someone else that won at the Brewdown as well. I forget his name, but I think it was like a blueberry sour or something.
Very good.
It was awesome. So
Nice.
Shout out to them, whoever you are.
Shout out to blueberry sour guy.
But yeah, it was great. We did a orange creamsicle IPA this year.
Nice.
Ton of orange zest in it. And it came out great.
That's awesome. And that's the one that you guys are going to be brewing with Locust Lane, right?
Yes.
Very cool.
It was cool. The judges kind of didn't like it as much as we did, but
Okay.
they said it tasted more like a creamsicle than an IPA.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, imagine that, a creamsicle IPA.
Yeah, that's kind of what you guys were going for.
How dare you.
But it was delicious. Obviously,
awesome.
it went over well with people who don't necessarily love up in your face hops. So
Sure.
it was great.
Absolutely. Well, before we get into it too much, let's get a beer going here. Can you guys pull one out? So usually Steve and I put some planning into this. We bring beers to the show, and we kind of plan out, what are you bringing? You getting a stout and IPA? This time the FAM guys offered to bring 100% of the beers.
And we're going hard early.
So what is that? What are we going with?
That's a King JJJuliusss.
Julius.
I'm gonna put it in my butt and twist it.
I might do that.
It's a big can.
Yeah. So
Yeah, so I was saying that when I got into John's car, besides the stuff that he left at my house for like 8 weeks now, I had nothing else with me. And that's so weird for us to be leaving and not having anything in our hands. But John said, FAM guys are 100% hooking it up. And they definitely started off strong.
they definitely did.
Yeah.
So I've had a lot of Treehouse before. I've had Julius before.
What are you guys drinking? No? Okay.
I got more. There's more heavy hitters
Okay.
in there.
So I've never had a King Julius. And then what's the difference between that and a King Julius?
All right, so there's 4 levels. You have Julius, and then there's actually Julius, which I
Okay.
brought last time we were on.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is
Yep, I have had
basically
that.
just an amplified kettle and dry hopping of the
Okay.
beer. Then there's King Julius, which is like the double version of Julius, and then this is the amplified hop version of King Julius.
Nice.
I've never had this one either, so this is a first for me as well.
This is pretty new for them, right? I don't remember seeing this.
The first time they did it was like at an anniversary party, and you had to have tickets to even get there.
Yeah.
It's evaded me for quite a while now, and luckily we went up last weekend, and it was 1 can per person.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you actually got this yourself?
Yes.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And you saved that one and brought it here. That's awesome. All right, guys, put them up. Cheers. Thank you for being here.
Good to see you. Thanks for coming.
Yep.
And thanks for bringing the loveliness.
Oh boy.
The nose on this thing is pretty
Crazy.
special.
Hey, I forgot about Taylor. Got to make sure Taylor gets
some
some
in there
there.
still.
You know,
There you go,
That's
buddy.
why I made sure we didn't empty it.
you're not sitting at the table. You might get forgotten about.
Yeah. Just like CJ on the last episode. I kept forgetting he was back there. Dude, this thing's crazy.
Yeah.
Go back to the graveyard.
Just keep this can for me, please, because
Yeah, absolutely.
I have a few.
Put it up
empties.
front.
That's pretty super right there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really, really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a ton of flavor. It's extremely well balanced. It's bold. It's really heavy hit. And you're like all the hops are coming in, and it's like almost overpowering, but not bitter.
It stops.
Not even
It,
close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the body
It's
is
super
great.
juicy, but it's got like enough. I don't know. It's not quite heat. It's like it's just barely touching that point of going too far, but not. It's just
Takes you right up to the line.
yeah,
The mouthfeel is just
perfect.
I guess our lines are different because that is perfect.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. That's so good.
Oh boy.
I hear what you're saying. Like it's you feel like, oh my God, that's too much alcohol. No, it's not.
No.
It's not too much alcohol.
Yeah.
Like it's
What
right
is the
there,
ABV
though.
on that?
Yeah, I'd like to know what that is.
Is 8.4.
Nice.
That's a delicious beer.
Holy crap!
That's really tasty.
That I don't know why what pops into my head. I don't think it's even on the same level necessarily, but it reminds me of the first time I had King Julius. I mean, not King Julius.
King Sue?
King Sue. Where it was just like such a big, bold beer, but still so juicy and
Yeah.
flavorful and well balanced. But man, that might be one of the best beers I've ever had.
That is saturated.
It's-
For a double IPA, absolutely.
Well, we can only go down from here then, right?
It's definitely the best treehouse I've had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way to start off.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Just set the
We
bar
had
and then,
clean palates, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, God, that's good.
Oh, that's funny.
I
All right.
don't want to finish it.
So tell us about the creamsicle IPA that you guys did, because I know I've seen pictures on social media. Make sure you follow you guys. What's your social media? Is it at
So
FAM
we're
Artisan?
at FAM Brewers.
Okay.
Or just search FAM Brewers on Facebook, Instagram. You'll find us.
Nice. So yeah, your logos are the nice mustache there.
Mustache.
Love
yes.
the logo. So I've seen you guys post online that you've got these like you guys were zesting oranges.
Oh, yeah.
Like crazy.
You could
How
say
many
that.
how many oranges did you guys get through?
At the end, it ended up being 400 oranges. Yes.
That's insane. Just zesting them.
Did you get the
by hand.
Did you get the Quagmire arm? Did you ever see that Family Guy?
It just wouldn't stop.
But it's just one arm.
It wasn't
yeah.
quite that bad.
Yeah,
that's
it was
funny.
it was crazy. It was we actually did it in a weekend in like 3 days. We managed to do it.
We just split it up between the houses and
Yeah, everybody kind of just took a turn with
wives
it.
and
Yeah.
children to work.
Oh man.
But it was crazy. I think I filled 11 pint mason jars full of zest.
Wow.
Yeah, and just soaked them in some vodka for like a month just to make like an extract.
Okay.
And then we just pitched them straight in the fermenters over at Locust Lane.
Okay. Nice. Very cool. What about
It's a lot of zest.
that is a lot of zest.
I mean, you figure like when you do like a recipe at home, you get like a quarter of a cup of zest
Yeah, right.
is enough for a
And it
recipe.
goes a
at
long
home.
Yeah,
way.
right.
It goes a long way.
Yeah, well, I was over there today and tried it, and it is by no means overpowering.
No, like it's there, but it's pretty tame considering.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So you did 400 oranges. How big is the batch?
It's like it definitely started around 400 gallons. I mean, there's loss at every time they transfer it.
Right.
It's over in a bright tank right now. So I think he said we're going to do 60 cases of cans, and then there's also going to be kegs as well
And sixtels.
and sixtels. So it's going to produce a lot of beer.
So while we're on the topic, and I want to hit this a couple times before we get out of here, when is the can release date?
March 7th.
March 7th is the actual can release date.
Well, apparently they're going to be available
March 4th.
March 5th.
Whatever.
Well, whatever. We're canning it on the 4th. And then our party is the 7th.
Yeah, follow Locust Lane on Instagram if you can't wait till the 7th. I know it's coming out. We're canning the Tuesday before, and it probably will be available the next day on Wednesday.
But so this show is releasing on Thursday.
So they're out.
They're out right now. You can go get some of this beer that these guys are talking about. But the big release party is on Saturday, where you guys will be hanging out. Maybe having a couple beers.
Maybe.
Just a few.
Might be a couple beers involved.
All day. We'll see if we can make it open to close this year. We made it pretty far last year, but I think we bailed out before they closed.
We killed all the food trucks.
True.
That was the problem. We even ate the distillery's food truck.
It was a good time last year. I showed up, and there were a lot of people there. It was a good time. I will definitely be there at some point. I wish I could pick which time of the day I'm going to be there, but I'll be there at some point. John, you coming? Are you going down?
Hopefully. It depends. I think last time I was traveling and wasn't able to make it, but we'll definitely check that out. For anybody who doesn't know where Locust Lane is, it's kind of hidden, but Route 30 in that Fraser Malvern area, what is that, 352?
Yep.
Is the intersection there. So when you turn on 352 and you go over the train tracks on that bridge, you don't make your first. You don't go over it. Yeah.
No, you go right over. You go over the bridge.
I think you go over the bridge and then it's your first left.
It's three-ton road.
Yep.
Oh.
And they're right next to Hope Animal Hospital.
Yeah.
I don't know where the tracks are.
Yeah. Yeah. I felt like you kind of go over that weird bridge. It looks like so steep when you're sitting down on 30, but it's a cool space, man. We've been there a couple times and they're great people. The beers are great. So that'll be a lot of fun. And I'm looking forward to it. So you guys just, when did you guys brew there? I guess that was like a week or two ago? February 12th, right? Is that right?
February 12th.
Yeah. So how was that? Because it looked like you guys, they were inviting people to come and be a part of it.
There was a few people there. Honestly, we put the invite out, but it's in the middle of the work week. I mean, in the middle of the day, I think there was like 4 or 5 people there.
Nice, but that's cool though.
Yeah, I mean, it's it was cool. We already have done it once, so it was a little more comfortable on our end. But it was a good time though. It was a little bit easier than that last beer. There was more ingredients when we did the B parts the year before, but it was still fun. It was a good time.
Nice.
They gave us more freedom this time too to he pretty much let us do almost everything.
Yeah. Yeah, this beer is it's beautiful. It's nice and it's got that haze. The B parts had it, but it was still a little clear. Like they let us go full on with our grain bill this year, and it just looks great.
That's exciting. That's awesome. I can't wait to try it. So at the brew down, were there any other beers that you guys really liked that stood out to you, or any other breweries that?
Yeah, the guy that won,
home brewers.
And I honestly I feel terrible. I don't remember his name. I hate cinnamon. I think cinnamon is the worst thing on earth. But this guy made a blueberry pie sour, and it tasted like blueberry pie was put in a blender, cinnamon and all. We all loved it. And he won, and he deserved to win. It was fantastic.
Christopher Ziegler, Pie Time.
Yeah, that's
an experimental beer, kettle soured with blueberries, cinnamon, vanilla, and graham crackers.
It was crazy.
Awesome beer.
Pie Time.
Yeah. And then I see Josh Harris. I recognize that dude from school. You remember that guy? You might recognize his picture.
He also owns the Sixers.
I knew it. The name sounded familiar.
Oh, yeah. Maybe that's him. He got, let me see. Where did I just see him? I just saw his name on here. Oh, there. Yeah, second place. He had a juicy IPA. Third place was Mike Hollinger for Convention Kolsch. So that's kind of cool.
I think the hardest thing is when you get into the judges, there's categories and they're very specific for each style of beer. And the New England IPA doesn't have a category. It kind of falls into the specialty IPA, which has no real guidelines. So you're kind of at the mercy of your judges. And with the one guy we knew, he's an older guy. He hates like the newer styles of beer. So, we knew he wasn't going to vote for it. So it's, it sounds like somebody got in there with a New England style, but, we didn't expect to win that. Our biggest thing was the fan vote.
That second place one was just a traditional New England IPA. There were no adjuncts. It was just hops.
Gotcha.
It was good.
Yeah. Nice.
Good beer.
So what else? You guys said you put the orange in there, but how do you get the creamsicle part
Vanilla.
of it? Okay.
There's vanilla in there. I shouldn't say we. I've been like kind of on an anti-lactose kick right now with beer.
Okay.
I felt like I got overdone. So we were talking about it when we made this the first time, and I was like, how can we do this without lactose?
Right.
So we just decided to go with a healthy dose of vanilla.
Okay.
To give you that flavor, and then we use our grain bill to give you the mouthfeel. Nice. So that you get that texture of cream without actually having the lactose in there.
Yeah. No, sometimes I feel like you can tell in a beer that it's like lacking in a little bit of like maybe that mouthfeel, but then they try to replace it with lactose, and you can tell that it's like, man, this is really good, but that lactose thing's a little overdone. And yeah, I think I felt the same way.
It gets sweet.
It was sweet, and I was getting tired of it. You start looking for West Coast IPAs or to get those.
I've never gone that far.
No?
No.
Yes, yeah. But man, that's exciting because I'm always looking forward to, nice juicy IPAs that don't have the lactose.
Oh, it's juicy. I tried it today. It's juice in a glass. It is fantastic.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it's lacking pretty much any bitterness, which as far as like on our own when we brew, we've been starting to try to make it a little more bitter. I like a little bit of it.
A little bite.
Some of the way they use their equipment at Locust Lane, they were a little worried about putting hops into the boil. So when you're boiling a beer, you have to cool it down before you can, what they call the whirlpool. You add a ton of hops there. You're not getting the bitterness at that point. You're getting more of like the floral or citrus aspects of the hops at that point. So if they were to put hops in at the boil, when they go to cool it down, the machine they use to cool it down, they were worried about it getting clogged. So it's like I don't know if you would consider it a no boil IPA because the wort boiled, but there was no hops in the boil. So it's like 0 IBUs, all just hop flavor in the whirlpool, and then a ton of dry hops. So like the nose is amazing, but it's just smooth, juicy. No bite to it at all.
Man.
It sits at like 6.5%, so it's going to be a nice smooth crusher.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, not too strong or not too heavy of too boozy.
Well, we were finding out last week, and I was digging through my fridge. I don't have a single IPA in my fridge right now.
No?
No, and there's 50 cans of beer in there. I was trying to find one to give my wife on Sunday when we were working in the garage.
So what's in your fridge right now?
Just nothing but doubles.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, doubles, sour, stouts, things like that. But
yeah.
I guess I might have had one Julius and one green in there, but I didn't want to give them to her.
Yeah. You should see this guy's fridge. It's in my garage at all times. It's a long story there, but like it's insane. Like I've never seen so much good beer at all times. Like I'm not really into the whole trading thing and all that, but he just has his connects, and it's just, if you guys need any beer, you know who to hit up.
Yeah, nice.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but I saw you hooking somebody else up on the internet through the Twitters.
Oh yeah.
So I follow a bunch of people on Twitter.
Yeah, the bro.
A bunch of the local sports personalities, and I follow the bro from he's
97.5.
on 97.5 now.
Yeah,
and I see him, the bro, talking about beer, and I see somebody offering him to hook him up for some beers, and who is it? But this guy,
Mr. Dunn.
Yep. I sent him a nice little mixed 8-pack from Treehouse when I was up there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. There was a couple weekends ago, he was drinking and posting pictures, and I was dealing with a 7-year-old sleepover party. Nice. So the wife and I had a nice little spread going, and he picked out the one can of haze and was like, whoa, Treehouse. And to me, Treehouse isn't whoa, Treehouse anymore, because it's like, I can get it whenever, basically. So I was like, I'll take care of you, dude, if you want some. So why not? Why not get a radio personality on our side in case this thing blows up?
Now, did you send him any of your stuff too?
No, I'm going to as soon as we get this.
That's what you got to do.
Oh, absolutely. I told him it was coming.
Some of that in there.
It's coming.
Man, I remember him when he was on with Anthony Gargano, right?
Yeah, he's still on the morning show. They just Anthony's in the afternoon.
It's been a long time since I listened, but
yeah, they only swapped out Anthony,
bro.
Yeah, he's probably my favorite dude on that station by far.
That's awesome.
Probably because he has like the same sense of humor as we do.
Well, it was funny because I was actually tweeting at Marissa from the Preston and Steve show.
Marissa? Yeah.
Because she was at Dewey Brewing one night.
I saw that.
And I was like, yo, Dewey Brewing, that stuff's fire, man.
Yeah.
So
nice.
we got to get
All right,
Get some of these people on the podcast.
I know, right?
all right, stout or sour? What's next? Pick one. Pick one.
Sour.
Sour.
Sour. All right.
Big sour or little sour?
Oh, geez, we got sour options.
There's choices of sours.
I guess start small and work our way up.
All right.
Be the way to do it.
Then regular one. Then
Little
that
sour?
one. Yeah, that one.
The little sour that could.
You can describe this. I have no idea.
This is from Drekker.
I've heard of Drekker.
They are in Fargo, North Dakota, and they make some really good beer. But this is their regular sour series called Brain Squeeze.
Nice.
Look at you being on YouTube.
You like that?
Yeah,
company.
man.
I feel like I've had it before, or not this one in particular, but I feel like I've had Drekker. Yeah, like you said, Fargo.
Yeah,
I don't know.
there's a guy in my group. I doubt he'll listen, but Chad, he.
I mean, you'll doubt he'll listen.
You better make him fucking listen.
Oh, I'm going to now. Sorry, I meant he doesn't listen now. I'll make him.
What's up, Chad?
If you tell somebody they're on the podcast, they're listening.
Yeah, he.
I tell people they're on all the time, and they're not on at all.
He'll just throw something up and be like, "Hey, I'm heading over today. Does anybody want anything?" And just cost plus shipping, and he just sends it out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and their sours are fantastic. Their hops are pretty damn awesome now too.
Chad, now that you're listening, hit the subscribe button.
Yeah.
Hit notifications.
Smash.
You are a new fan. We appreciate you.
Smash. You gotta
Sign up on
smash
Patreon.
something.
I got a subscriber for you too when I was up there. My buddy Lou from Rhode Island.
Yo, what up, Lou?
Lou?
What's up,
Yeah.
Lou?
I didn't taste this yet, but the smell, it smells like it's going to hit me in the back of the jaw.
Nah.
Shit, it does. Yeah, it does for
Does
me.
it get you?
It gets me.
Nah,
Weird aftertaste. It's good. Man, I like, oh shit, I don't know. It's sitting funny on the palate.
Yeah, it's coconut. That's what I thought. Yeah.
Is the coconut throwing it off?
No, that's the first thing I tasted. It's not bad.
No.
A lot of ASMR going on there.
ASMR.
You never watch the people eating videos?
No.
If you've never heard of
Yeah.
it, Google ASMR right now.
Oh wait, they're like you can like people brush their hair and
Yeah,
file
you
their
just-
nails and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they'll
sound.
eat, like, people will, like, eat, like, sloppy food, so you just hear all this gross noise. Yeah.
Taylor's
people
just
love it.
cringing over that.
Taylor's cringing in the corner.
Okay, terrific.
He's good on that. Man, I can't say that I'm super in love with this beer. I think it's got some really fruity, juicy flavors. The sour strong, which I like, but there's a weird aftertaste.
This
man.
one's definitely a little off.
Yeah, there's something off about it. It's a little bit of a, I don't know, like a not a good funk.
I
don't
appreciate the tropicalness they got into it. I do get tropical on the flavor.
Sure.
I'm definitely getting it. Yeah.
I'm getting a little too much coconut, but I'm
That might
sensitive
be
to
the
it,
coconut.
So
See, the beauty of these guys, I love it. They list on the can everything they put in it. Their malt, their hops, their flora, the gimmicks, all the stuff. It's all listed
Okay.
here. So you can see, oh, maybe that's the difference.
Yeah, can I take a look?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's interesting.
I think
they're-
I saw they have sour malt on there, which is a little different. They use lactobacillus too, but the sour malt, we've never used it, but from what I've gathered, they're basically letting that malt get infected before they mash, which I'd imagine that leads to a bit of a different flavor. And I've heard too that it's a little harder to control the
that's what I was going to ask.
beer from getting funky. Like, they say like when you use that, like you really have to be careful because like a sour can easily turn into like they say it could taste like
Vinegar.
like feet or like puke. Like, I mean, I've heard like of a million different things
Yeah.
that it could turn if you don't do it right.
Yeah, maybe there is a,
I know it's getting too much coconut.
I don't want to say feet, but there definitely was a little bit of a strange flavor that kind of stuck around on the back end for me.
Cool label.
It is cool.
Their artwork's outrageous.
That is awesome.
I gotta figure out my can showing game.
Yeah, it's weird being reversed. I keep, turning my head this
think
way
the
and I
key
go the
is
other way on the TV.
Don't look at the TV. Just look at the camera.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, how about that?
It's just right there.
Nice.
5.2% on this one.
Very cool.
Yeah, there's definitely a funk, but I kind of like the funk.
Yeah.
Speaking of the 5.2%, you've heard of all that nonsense going around now with these over-fruited sours and their false ABVs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't read into it too much, but I thought I saw that
Boy,
it turns out they weren't brewing the beers to begin with. They were just getting the beer. They were getting the beers from somebody.
that's the answer.
Okay.
That's been known for a while. But there's another brewery out in Indiana who were making this slushy series. It's what got me liking sours. The beers were outrageous, but they were
I know who you're talking
450.
450
Yeah.
North, but they were billing them as like 8 and 10% sours, and some dude took it to a lab.
Yeah.
And they came back like 3.1.
That's crazy.
So now every week when they release, the Friday of, they post the lab results of what the ABV is for that beer.
Right. Wow.
So what they're doing is, you know, every time we brewed a sour, we put it on the fruit, but we let it ferment out a little bit after that.
Okay.
And then we pull it off of the fruit. So you're getting the flavor, but it's the true beer. They're just adding fruit puree. I said it right that time. Into the right into the keg and putting the beer right on top of it. So like, you know, all that fruit juice is diluting the beer. So like, and they weren't taking that into account. Like, I don't know how that doesn't even cross your mind, because it's not fermenting in the keg. It's cold the whole time, which is why you'll see a lot of those beers. They say like, do not let warm up or they'll explode.
Yeah, right.
Because they'll start fermenting again.
Oh, wow.
Because the yeast will wake back up.
Speaking of Burley, it was happening with the Dreams.
Yeah, exactly. So like, it just blows my mind. Like, you know, why these people aren't paying attention that, you know, you're diluting a beer and, you know, passing it off is something that it's not.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to understand is like, how did they mess it up? Were they purposely trying to, you know, like are people excited about like an 8%, you know, fruit beer that doesn't feel like 8% or taste like 8%?
I think that's what started it. Is there was a guy who drank like 7 of the double XLs, as they're called, and they're billed at 10%, and he was like, I didn't even have a buzz.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I was really excited to have a 10% beer that tasted like fruit punch, like when I'm sitting on the beach.
Yeah.
It doesn't get much better, but nothing happens.
You know, I just see I guess my thought is you see the trend of the ciders and the alcohol-free beers and the, you know, people trying to do things that are more health conscious and athletic or whatever you want to call it, that like a 3% delicious, you know, fruited beer would probably sell well on its own. Like you wouldn't need to fake bill it for 8% in my eyes, but I don't know.
And again, I don't know if it was intentionally deceptive.
That's what I was saying.
I think now there's a bunch of different stories going around on the other one, but I think it was more they were estimating based on gravity, but I don't know how you miss by that much.
Yeah, that's crazy. So what's the deal with the answer? Do you know any more details on that?
Not 100%. It's been known for a while that they take a base sour and then do their own thing with it. That's been known for years, as far as I can tell.
People seem like they were really upset that it wasn't their beer that they were brewing, that they borrowed it from somebody else or had somebody else brew it and give it to them. And I don't see a problem with that. I don't see why it's such a big deal.
I don't see a problem with it either, because it was delicious. We had one here the last time we were here, and I think Taylor gave it like a perfect score.
Yeah, they're still crafting their own brew pretty much. I mean, they're making it what they want to make it. But
I think they're suffering through the ABV thing now as well.
Okay.
And there was an ex-employee who's been all over social media the last 2 weeks.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Calling them intentionally deceptive, I think was the word he used.
Absolutely. I think I did see something like that.
And those are big words if you're...
Right.
I mean, you better know what you're talking about. But he said he worked there, and that's why he quit.
Wow.
So how do you guys feel about the whole beers that you must keep cold? I think it's personally a little irresponsible to put out a beer that can literally blow up.
Yeah.
If you don't do exactly the right thing, what you're doing to it.
You could just keep it on tap. I mean, I don't see the reason, like, why are you putting it in cans? I mean, obviously it's money because everybody loves them, but yeah, I don't get that. I mean, you can still ferment them out. I mean, I don't know.
That's all it is. They don't let them ferment out all the way.
And it gives it that like thicker, cool color, and you get the fruit on your glass, and that doesn't really mean anything to me. I want flavor. You know,
I had a million of those things sent from Indiana with no problems.
Yeah.
But I sent 2 Dreams to New Orleans.
And you had problems.
Oh my God. The box.
In the package?
Dude, the box exploded. The post office delivered it. Guy sent me a picture. It was in one of those white plastic bins. The whole box was just maroon.
Oh, wow.
And the cans, like the whole top of the can had ripped off basically.
Oh, wow. So they just delivered it in one of those mail bins.
Yeah.
Like wow.
Bet you the guy's truck at least smelled good.
Probably.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. And that was the Dreams. They didn't make it.
Oh, man.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
All right. It's about time for a break. We'll be back talking with the boys from FAM. We'll see you in a little bit. Welcome back.
And we're back with more Might Be Brews.
Hope you guys enjoyed our little our little talk of Eunomia CBD. Go check them out. Get your gummies, get your bath bombs. I've never used a bath bomb.
Me either.
I don't think I've taken a bath and
All right.
What's a bath? What does it do? Just
So,
kind of explode in the water?
Yeah, my kids love them. So they're, the little round things, they're like balls, and you put them in the water and they start fizzing slowly. Like they just disintegrate. I don't know what you would call that, but they do kind of fizz.
effervescent.
And put like a scent and a color into the water, and sometimes they're glittery. But the kids love it. They just, toss it around and watch it, melt.
So speaking of kids, co-host Kev, I got you the hookup, man. I got
Gritty
you some
sauce.
gritty sauce.
Nice.
So he's going to be hype. I know he's going to be hype when he sees that.
Yeah, for sure.
So now it's actually a sriracha aioli, which is like a little spicy mayonnaise. I get the feeling he's never going to taste it.
Probably.
I think for him to keep it, because he probably just wants the bottle like I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he won't open it.
I think for him to keep it, he should have to eat something with it on there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, good call.
So what can we make him have?
I'm going to put it in my butt and twist it.
That's probably what he's going to do with it. But he should probably have to, I'll let you guys figure that out on news. You got a day to figure that out for tomorrow. So
Grab his dick and twist it!
hopefully Kev's enjoying his gritty sauce.
Yeah. Shout out Kev and Might Be News.
Fuck him!
Fuck 'em.
Fuck those guys.
So let's crack a beer.
Yeah,
What do you got?
let's crack it. Get crack a
What
lacking.
do we
All right,
going
we're
with?
going dark.
Dark.
We're going dark. Pulling the
darkness.
bomber out.
The bomber. Ooh. What is that word?
It's raspberry chocolate gateau.
Gateau.
I Googled that shit.
Yo.
Believe me, I did not know how to pronounce that.
Trillium does fancy desserts, man.
Oh, man. It looks amazing.
They always are doing all kinds of crazy like dessert stouts that I can't pronounce.
No.
It's always something weird.
Apparently, this is a gateau is a French cake that is like, it's for special occasions. Like, they don't just make it for any time. So,
All right, so as I told you last time, I'm not the biggest stoutsman.
Okay.
Okay. First of all, you're going to notice the color of this when you pour it. It's almost brown because they put
Not
so
black?
many. No, they do. They put so many raspberries in this. I
Yeah.
drank this at the brewery and texted him, and I was like, "Dude, I'm in love."
When it pours against the glass, it's red. Like you
Yeah.
can see it when it.
yeah.
It's got that hue to it.
Hue.
I forgot.
I
how
like that
bomber
word
can-
stoutsman. I want to see if I can get that in,
Copyright.
in my title or something somehow.
Maybe that'll be my next dog's name.
Yeah.
Stoutsman.
I like that.
Go potty, Stoutsman.
Yeah.
I'm pouring heavy on this one.
All right, so while we're talking stouts, man, I haven't had it yet, but you guys put a stout out
We did.
there was 3 variants,
Yep.
and it's called Into the Night. And it was a very cool looking bottle, a really cool logo and everything like that. And it just never occurred to me that there could be a backstory to it.
There is a backstory to it.
And then Sean, I believe you're the one that texted
Yep.
me and sent me the link.
To the greatest
Yes.
music video ever made.
The greatest music video. I swear the song was stuck in my head for like 3 or 4 days.
You're welcome.
But man, is that not the cringiest fucking thing I've ever seen?
Yeah, I wish we could play it on here, but apparently we'll get banned from YouTube.
Yeah,
according to
YouTube's
Ted.
not a fan of
I
MTV
don't think
Network right
Benny
now.
cares anymore.
Yeah, well, he might need the money. He might need the money.
He might.
So tell us about the song and why is that a thing to you guys?
All right, so yacht rock is a big part of our lives. Yacht rock is what is considered like late 70s, early 80s soft rock. Your Hall & Oates, your Steely Dan's, your Fleetwood Mac, things like
Is
that.
Hall & Oates? Yeah.
Yeah, they're on there, dude.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
I got it. All right. I'll let you continue, but I might have to disagree. But
Okay, well,
continue.
they play it. And
Okay.
the world-class DJ that is on Yacht Rock says it's Yacht Rock. So there was a song, I guess it was 1980 it was made? By Benny Mardones called Into the Night. And everybody knows it, but it wasn't until we really listened to it that we realized it is probably the creepiest song maybe ever. in
It's like the
history music.
first line of the song is what like
She's just 16 years old. Leave her alone, they say.
yeah.
And then he says, no, I don't want to. And
It gets creepier and creepier from there.
and then we discovered shortly after Sean found it at work that there is an actual music video for it. And it takes it to a whole new level of creepiness.
It does.
And it ends with, you know, him flying away on a magic carpet with his 16-year-old lover.
He wants to fly away on a magic carpet
Into
with
the
a
night.
16-year-old lover into the night and show her love that she's never felt before.
Yeah.
Seen before.
He's talking about kidnapping and statutory raping a 16-year-old, and everyone loved it.
And it's a hit.
It was a hit.
So how many years is Benny doing in the joint?
None, dude.
None?
He is still kicking.
So
I think he has Parkinson's now.
He
or
was
something
like
that,
in his
though.
early 30s when he made the song. So I mean, he's twice as old as this girl.
It is something.
And
else.
he's a creeper at 32. He like, oh my god, he's a creepy looking dude in the first
It was
place.
not a flattering video.
You pulling it up there, Mr. Steve?
You got
the video going?
I just got the. I wanted to read the lyrics as they were
lyric
going by.
It's
Leave her alone, they say.
You got to see the video because
That is
it's
what
so
they say,
funny
Benny.
yeah.
Gotta say.
So we became borderline obsessed with it.
Yeah.
And we decided that when we do our first big boy stout, that's what we're going to call it.
Yep.
And then as we add variants to it, the moon will change colors for every variant we make.
I love that because, you know, how many cans do you see or bottles that you see? I mean, this one's pretty straightforward from Trillium. I mean, it's fucking raspberry cake and it's got a picture of raspberry cake on it and it
so
tastes like
good.
raspberry cake. But, you know, you never know like really the backstory to stuff. And there's so much that, I mean, it just looks cool, but, you know, it's a hilarious story.
Well, we listen to that channel on XM the whole day when we're doing whatever we're doing.
Yeah,
and
that's awesome.
90% of our beers will come from something along those lines.
Nice.
Benny looks like Steve Perry crossed with like B. Arthur and Alf. Like he is just.
That's a really good way to put it.
He is just.
I like when the guy answers the door.
Show the camera.
The guy, yeah, get the good label on there.
Beautiful. Magic carpet ride right into that moon, into the night. It's beautiful.
The guy that answered, I'm assuming that's her dad that answered the door.
Yeah, handsome devil.
He's got a nice beard on him.
He does.
That's
He
what I
does.
was looking at.
Nice. What is that? Is that early 70s, late 80s?
It was
Early 80s?
yeah, I think it was recorded in 1980.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's very clear by his super awesome sleeveless T-shirt he's wearing.
That's
And,
what all of our dads looked like in the 80s. With
yeah,
that,
except
that
mine didn't have any hair already. So
Nice. So tell me about the variants that you guys did for End of the Night.
So we each picked one, and then we solicited opinions on Instagram and Facebook for the third variant, and then we kind of took them and picked the one we liked best. That fella got a free bottle for his input.
Shout out Devin Mack.
Yeah, Devin Mack.
And Mac.
Hey, Devin, if you haven't heard, Double Citra is out.
You can grab that now.
Little inside joke for.
Yeah. So which one did you create, Steve?
Mine was the blue one, the blue moon that we just showed the picture of. It was blueberries, toasted coconut, Jamaican coffee, and cacao nibs.
Nice. I love Jamaican coffee. Anytime I see it, I get excited.
Oh, it's so good.
It is, and it really added to it. Now we were going to do Jamaican Blue Mountain coffee until we saw that it was like $63 a pound, and I was like, let's just go Wegmans Jamaican coffee instead.
All right.
Yeah.
And then how about you, Sean? What was yours?
So I kind of solicited my idea from my wife. Shout out Sarah.
Sarah.
It's a tiramisu style. So, and it's also funny because we're drinking Trillium now. They're the first ones I ever saw do it. So we did that one on cacao nibs for like the cocoa they sprinkle on it. I got like 2 packs of lady fingers.
Nice.
Crushed them up, let them sit in there. Some espresso beans and vanilla. So that was my favorite out, not just because I picked it, but like after like everything came out and they sat for a while, we did save one of each to taste, and that was probably my favorite as far as balance.
I agree.
Yeah, and then the third one that Devin Mack ended up submitting was a fluffer nutter style. So we put that on like a whole big jar of marshmallow fluff. I took that, put it in the blender, threw in a bunch of PB2 powder, and then just blended it up with some vodka and distilled water until it was like a nice creamy mixture, and let it sit in there. So
Nice.
that was a good one too. Could have used more peanut butter, but it was good. I wish we could have brought one. I honestly, like, we sold them. Like, we've done this with every beer. We just like, we post it and everybody wants it, and we just sell it, and it just goes like that. And it's like, next thing you know, we don't have any. And then last night, I 3 popped up, and I just didn't even think of this again. And I put them online, and within 5 minutes, they were gone.
Yeah, my
Yeah, I was
sister's
like,
taking them.
yeah, I'm going to bring them. And then I was like, no, they're bringing beers. I'm sure they're going to bring some of their
Yeah.
their latest creation.
No, we're dumb. And we forgot to.
But it's all right. Let's talk about this this fucking Trillium.
What do you think of it?
It's delicious. It
Yeah.
tastes exactly like you would expect when you look at that bottle.
And it's, it's 11 and a half. Taylor, did you get some of this?
Taylor, what do you think? Woo! Hey, he likes it.
It's 11% beer too. It hides it so well.
What's the sounder if you didn't like it?
I'm gonna put it in my butt and twist it.
Because you don't like Kev. Got it.
Man, that's crazy because it's got such a nice, like the raspberry's fantastic.
It's great.
It's got a great flavor, a great balance, and then that chocolate lingers like you literally had a bite of cake. And you're just letting it melt.
I don't like chocolate either. I'm not a chocolate eater.
Okay.
At all. And I was texting him from the place. I guess it was last Monday, 2 Mondays ago, President's Day.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I just had 2 pours of this. I'm buying another bottle. I said, I'm bringing one to the podcast.
That's awesome.
It definitely reminds me of the last Gateau that I made, which was no, I didn't make any last Gateaus. I was like, wow, you're making Gateaus? No.
Tell me more.
No, they nailed it. I mean, that's a fantastic beer. I mean, you're right. It does hide the ABV. It's not too sweet. Man, it tastes like raspberry chocolate cake candy. Yeah, it's delicious.
Yeah, I was very impressed. And the color really, like I said, it messed me up because usually you expect that dark motor oil black, and this is brown.
That's usually how I like stouts.
Yeah.
But this is so flavor packed and full bodied. I mean, it's great.
It still gives you that mouthfeel of that thicker.
Yeah, it does for sure.
Well, it's an Imperial. I mean, it's a big beer. They just found a way to hide it.
So, something I saw online what I thought was interesting is Trogs put out their first new full-time year-round release in 4 years called Haze Charmer. Have you guys seen that one out there yet?
No.
I have not.
I don't know anything really about it, but I don't know. I'm assuming that it's like a New England IPA. It doesn't look as hazy as like a Trillium or something like that. I don't know if anybody can if they're really trying to pull that off, but
It's tough for those breweries that are trying to put stuff on shelves to really get that real super hazy stuff going on and have it sit for any length of time.
yeah. Well, here's what he said. It's been a fun ride perfecting this recipe. Said Trogner, John Trogner? Is that how you say his name?
Yes.
More than ever before, we dialed into the relationship between fermentation and the hop combination and how a yeast strain can fundamentally change the way you smell hops. It's not just about the hops you choose. It's more about the total picture and overall relationship among the ingredients. So, I mean, that makes sense. And that's what everybody's trying to do is you want to get that balance of bitter, the juiciness, the floral, the earthy stuff, and make it all work and balance out so that at the end of the day, you've got a really full flavored, balanced ride.
I mean, I give it a try. They're one of the guys that, got me into this world. So
Yeah, I love Trogs. I love going there. I love their beers. Actually, I had like my first Nugget Nectar in Connecticut of the year.
Yeah, I mean, an IPA does not have to be fully hazy to be a New England style. I just think that the grains that contribute to the style make it hazy, so like the oats and stuff like that, but a lot of guys do it, like he was saying, for the shelf status, and they do it well. I mean, I've had quite a few of them that are, slightly hazy, but they're still good beers, low bitterness, good hop profile. So
very drinkable.
I would definitely try that.
Oh, absolutely.
Another thing I saw was Younger's been hitting taps around here.
Yeah.
Pliny the Younger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Steve, you grabbed some, right?
I did.
Was it your first time?
My first time with Younger? No.
No?
No.
How'd you think of this
All right,
batch?
Benny.
It was not my first time with the Younger. Leave them alone. That's what they say.
Yeah.
Now, this would be the third or fourth time that I had Younger.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
Still have never had it.
It's
had it
tasty.
twice.
It's got a great balance to it. It's one of those beers I always describe it. You can taste everything but nothing at the same time.
Yeah.
If you want to, you can try and pick out the piney or the citrusy, but when you just drink it, I just think it's all just there. Just the mouthfeel is great. It's just a solid beer.
I haven't had it this year yet, but I'm looking forward to it. I saw that they also bottled it for the first time.
Yeah.
Which is pretty crazy.
Did you see what those bottles were going for on the black
Dude,
market?
like $1.50.
I saw 500 for 2.
Jesus.
I saw $250 for a bottle.
That's crazy. And that's only at the brewery release. Like they just probably had a release day, right? Blew them out.
Yeah, I saw a guy that was at 6 hours waiting and still hadn't gotten his beer yet. I mean, like our worst days at Tired Hands back in the day were like an hour and a half.
Yeah,
I couldn't
right?
do 6, man.
I mean, people at the Younger was such a big deal when it was first coming out. People would buy it, go to the bathroom, like pour it in like different bottles or a growler or something to sell it after that.
Oh, wow.
And it's just insane. But we're so lucky in this market because we get it here. You know, there were Sixels popping up all over Philly, the place in Wayne, I can't remember the name
Teresa's gets it.
Monks had it too.
Monks had it all day.
Yeah.
Like if you got there that day, you got some from noon until midnight.
Yeah.
Well, they've had Elder on like forever.
They usually have either Elder or Blind Pig or both on.
So I'm sure Russian River took care of them.
And I think they're the ones that have the relationship. Excuse me. That's how it gets into the market is through them.
Yeah, I'd love to. I'm still holding out that I'm going to run into it somewhere soon. Like, for me, I've had luck at TJ's, which I think I missed there also, and Paoli.
What a great place.
I love that place.
We do too.
Great food.
They're the
A
ones.
lot of people don't talk about the food that much.
No, we
there,
love
but-
it. They turned me on to smoking wings,
Oh, yeah?
and now I do it constantly.
Yeah, me too. I love smoking wings.
Yeah, my kids are addicted to them.
Yeah, but the Poorhouse in Exton, I don't think they've put it on yet. And
They
I'm waiting
haven't.
for them to do it.
And that's where I had it last year.
Yeah, me too. Yep.
The first place I ever had it was the Sidebar in Westchester.
Okay.
And this had to be 6-7 years ago. So it was still when people were really like, I got there at like 10:30 in the morning. I think it might have been
your
noon.
6 ounce pour.
And it was a 6 ounce pour, and people were lined up down the block.
Wow. Another thing I saw that I thought was interesting, shout out to one of our listeners, Jackie, over at the Malvern Beer Store. They just posted that they're doing a store clearance. They're trying to wipe out their inventory, so everything's between 25 and 50% off.
Oh, wow. Really?
We have a guy who recently entered our lives, Ryan. Hi.
What's up, Ryan?
What up,
Who
Ryan?
works for TrueMark, who's kind of got us going in our business accounting thing here, banking anyway, who has a friend there, and he's been inviting Sean and I over on Thursday nights for like 4 weeks now, and we can never make it happen.
I think we should go now.
I do too. We kind of have to now that we mentioned it.
Yeah, sometimes I think about that when I go in there and they have so many beers on the shelf. And I'm like, man, are they moving these? Like there's an incredible variety, and there's so much there. I mean, anything that you could want for the most part that's not like, super trendy that's going to go off the shelves right away. But if you want to find like a really good, stout from the brewery, or
They got a really nice Belgian selection.
yes, I was going to say that, a ton of Belgians, all kinds of crazy stuff. So I don't know, it's pretty crazy, but it's kind of exciting too. I mean, there's probably going to be a lot of really good deals there. So I'm looking forward to checking that out.
When's this start?
I think it starts now, and I think it's going to be going for a couple of weeks, maybe a few weeks. So hopefully, when this podcast comes out in the future,
They're not too far from Locust Lane, so you could go hit up these guys on the March 7th release.
Absolutely.
yeah,
Swing by, maybe see what's going on at
Spend your
beer
money at
store.
Locust Lane first.
yeah, there you go.
And then go to the beer
Nice
store.
call.
Yeah.
So, what's been going on? I just want to talk at my house. We're having like some work done to our floors, and I haven't been able to use my kitchen for like a week and a half now.
It's pretty brutal.
So I've been doing nothing but going out to eat. So I'm definitely going to put on like 75 pounds this month. But what's interesting is I've been to all these different restaurants back to back to back to back. And I was surprised. I was thinking like, which one stands out to me as like the best one? So tell me if you guys have been to any of these places. Craft House in Thorndale.
Yes.
I can see it from my front door.
Can you?
Yeah.
So there's that. There's a new place over in the Fraser area, Stove and Tap. Have you guys been there?
Have not been there.
Used to be Bertucci's.
Oh, so
Okay.
it's right in the driver's license center.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. Also where the Malvern Beer Store is.
Yes.
Same shopping center. Really cool place. It's kind of I like the style of it in there. They had a pretty good draft list. Like they're trying to come off obviously with Tap in their name.
Yeah.
They have really good craft beers. I thought it was maybe average to above average tap list for craft stuff, but still it's a decent selection. We had a couple good beers there. Epicurean Garage is cool because they don't, that's over in Eagle area. They don't have a liquor license yet. So they'll actually give you 2 free beers or like a glass of wine or something like that with your drink or with your food, which I think is pretty interesting. But the beer I had today from Epicurean was Tannery Run Brewing out of Ambler, PA. No, I'm right. And
Are they new? I haven't heard of them.
I think they're new, and it was an IPA, and it was kind of weird, like, and it made me really start reflecting on like how you know for sure if a beer is good or not. All right, so like I have my first couple sips of the beer, and I'm like, man, this isn't blowing my mind. Like I've been having all these juicy New England style IPAs and stuff like that, and then this was like a traditional IPA, and I was like, man, it's not really all that good. And then I just started like, just continuing to drink it with my meal. And I'm like, you know what? This isn't bad. This is kind of good. And it made me think like, I wonder how many beers get shitty ratings just because of what you've had recently or because it's a different style that you're not used to. And your first take on it's like, oh, this isn't all that good. But if you actually give it some time and appreciate it or get used to it or let it warm up a little bit, whatever it might be, it would actually, like by the time I finished it, I was like, man, that wasn't a unique good beer. I liked it.
It could also be what you're eating.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay, yeah.
We were just having this discussion the other day about what were you eating that you could have M&Ms with it and you were fine.
Oh, my the stouts. I was a Levante stout I was having. And
Okay.
I was like, I love stouts because I can eat candy with it.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what, yeah.
It works, yeah.
Yeah.
You can't do that with an IPA. It'll screw everything up. You'll be like, everything's sweet now.
Yeah, right. I get that. But yeah, I don't know. It kind of made me think about it. And I was like, man, at first I was like, oh, I'm not crazy about it. And I was like, no, this is a good beer. And then I started thinking, like, I wonder how many like shitty reviews breweries can get just because it's like a little bit different or isn't like what you're used to. And I don't know.
Or people try it in a flight and they don't
Yeah.
give it time.
Exactly. I don't know. It caused reflection, you know? So anyway, get back on topic with the restaurants. The Whip, have you guys ever been there?
Hell yeah, that place is awesome.
Yeah, the food is incredible.
Outrageous.
I was like, whoa, it's a small place.
Yeah.
It's not big.
People are parking on the side of the street and everything still? Or do they
Yeah,
have a
well,
bigger
I went on
parking lot now?
a early, no, it was a small parking lot, but I went early and like on a Monday or something. So
That's the time to hit it.
I got
They
lucky.
do like valet parking.
No, they
They're
haven't.
busy.
They don't have valet at all.
On the
do,
weekends,
Oh,
they
do
do.
they? Oh, because
Yeah, they
when we
started
went, there were
recently.
just people. What is that 841? It's off of out there.
Yeah.
There were just people like pulled over on the grass.
I believe
we
it.
went. My wife was pregnant, so I drank pretty much everything they had on the menu
nice.
and took full advantage of that.
yeah, that's awesome.
That's a place that I go to strictly for the food, but they also have really good beer list.
Yeah, the beer was fantastic. I forget what I had there, but it was amazing.
Strong Belgian menu there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Nice.
First time I had Prankster. I don't know if you ever had that from the North Coast.
Yeah.
First time I ever had that.
But people told me about it, and I was like, oh, it's a Coatesville address. It can't be that far. But it took me like 20 minutes to get there.
Yeah,
It's in the
it's
middle of
out
fucking
there.
nowhere. It's like
It's
in a...
definitely
There's
the
like
far
farms
side.
around. My wife was like, I think there's a horse and buggy outside that house over there. And then next
Yeah.
thing you know, there it is.
So good.
And there's like the 2 buildings. And I was like, well, I don't know which one's the restaurant. Like this one's bigger, but that one's the restaurant, it looks like. And
I think
I don't know.
It was like last year. There was like we had that freak rainstorm. Do you see those videos? The people that
Oh,
were like
yeah.
trapped there and
yeah,
like
they
it was
were
like
there to
flooding
eat.
and the dumpsters are floating by the
Yeah.
building and stuff.
I do remember that.
They definitely got damage from
Well,
that.
if they have a really nice outdoor seating area, and I don't know what river it is or stream goes right along behind it. And if you're there, like we were there one night. It was absolutely perfect. We're just sitting out there. You can hear the water going by.
Ooh,
but I'm guessing
romantic.
Yeah, for a pregnant woman and her drunk husband.
Yeah, right.
The Welsh Rarebit
Okay.
is the best.
Yeah, I think I had I don't know, like a New York strip, and it came on like some kind of bacon, mac and cheese, and some kind of vegetable. I mean, it was just
It sounds fantastic.
yeah, it was nuts. And the other place that I went to was Stottsville Inn.
I've
been there?
been
Yeah.
hearing that popping up everywhere because that Kate Winslet thing that was being filmed.
Yeah.
all the cast was eating there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah, up in Pomeroy. It's right by my in-laws' house.
Pomeroy.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, it's like it's not far from Victory Parksburg. It's like right around the corner from there. But yeah, we found out about that place, and I think it's kind of hard to find too. Kind of like the Whip, you never pass it.
No.
So you just have to know where it is and go looking for it. But man, I thought they have a wood. I don't know if it's wood or coal fired. I think it's a wood fired grill or oven, and they do like little pizzas. And my wife and I both had like Brussels sprouts and wings, and then we got like this pizza thinking we're gonna like get a bite or two of it. It was the best effing pizza I've had in a long time. Where we just kept stuffing our face, and then we were looking at each other like, we've been to all these places for like the last week and a half. This is the best food we've had all week.
Stottsville.
Huh? And they had a decent beer list. We had a couple nice IPAs there, and
Nice.
it was awesome. You got another beer over there?
I do.
He like cracked it, and he's like hiding it.
Yeah.
I didn't
know what's
crack it.
going
That
on.
was coming out of the 4-pack. Well, no, I know we're getting close to the end of the the normal non-Patreon people hour. So we have one more heavy hitter to pull out. I don't know if you guys have had it, but
Oh, no, I have not. Holy shit.
You guys are
It's like Christmas for us.
it's all him.
Holy cow.
He made the trip.
busting it out, a little juice machine.
It was one per person of this same day.
Was
up
it?
there. Yeah, so we went back Monday, and I got 2 of these.
Wow.
That's why I rinsed the glass.
The juice machine. I'm going to give mine an extra rinse just to be
that's
sure.
an extra rinser.
So, yeah, this is one of those ones that, like, man, when it's out,
Oh, people freak over it.
yeah, and you see people posting it, like, how the fuck do you get that? And I feel like I miss it by like a day or two every time I'm up there.
Yeah, we've had this before. Again, my sister lives up in, well, now she's in Massachusetts, but so I had my brother-in-law used to run for us all the time, and we had a share, God, many moons ago, and we ended up crushing like 6 or 7 of those. I remember showing people pictures, and they were like, "Wait a minute, we had 7 juice machines. We had King Julius. We had so many things, all because my brother-in-law was running up for us all the time, and he brought them all.
They were
down.
there. They came down that weekend.
Yeah. Well, no, just he did.
Yeah.
Because it was girls. My sister's like birthday, so all the women went up, and he came down.
It smells amazing.
It's a fantastic.
Oh, that's a great
beer.
news. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's a good beer.
It smells juicy.
I'm not gonna lie. It's one of my favorite cans too, like art wise.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
It's so
Just so
recognizable.
cool.
It's the old like toy robot.
Yeah, it's so cool.
And to me, when I see it, I don't think Treehouse.
No.
That's like the one beer of theirs that stands out that like doesn't belong with the rest. And like I would always forget when you see the can like that is a Treehouse beer.
Yeah. I can remember the first time it like popped up when I got into this world. It popped up on Twitter. And they had like a little animatronic robot walking by to announce that they were releasing it. It was in Monson, and it was like 2 per person. And I called my brother-in-law, just begged him. Please go up. So he grabbed 3 guys from work.
Can you go
And
and get 8 of your friends?
Yeah, well, he's in the Navy, so he would get like 21-year-old kids who were just Miller Lite drinkers.
Nice.
Come with me, and he hooked it up big time.
Walk up and ask for juice machine. All they will give you.
Yes. Yeah. Thanks, Trump.
Here's a 6-pack of Miller Lite. Thank you for your service.
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome. Man, this beer is fantastic. This is man, they just nail these beers.
Yeah, they're one of the few places that, I mean, you have the people out there that disagree with me, but man, they're the ones that generate hype. I feel live up to it.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of. I'll never forget my brother-in-law again goes to Trillium to get us the Trillium Monkish collab a couple years ago called Never and Again. And it was so appropriately named. It was the biggest pile of crap I've ever had in my life.
No way.
I don't remember.
It was one of those
Mangoes.
mango disasters.
Okay.
Mango's tough.
It was
People screw up mango.
it was
a
like
lot.
drinking a glass of black pepper. It was horrendous. And he stood in line forever to get that for us. And it was so, I still have one in the fridge for science.
Do you?
Yeah.
See if it gets better?
Thank you for not bringing that.
Yeah. Oh, he brought a science experiment with him. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah.
Is that for the Patreon people that get the science experiment?
It might be our last broadcast ever.
Oh, man, that's
We're going to have to
exciting.
see who's in on it.
Yeah.
I brought it.
Is it a Trillium IPA still in a bottle?
No.
Remember we had one of those at the Frank share?
Yep,
It was
yep.
like 4 years old.
Yeah.
Probably still really good.
My buddy Dumont, man,
It was acceptable.
Yeah.
yeah.
A little malty.
He was just because he's a really good buddy of mine. I've known him for a long time, and he was starting to get into craft beer. And he was going up to Boston. I was like, "Yo, give me some Trillium." He was like, "Oh yeah, that's like right near where we're gonna be." So he did, but I guess he didn't realize like the shelf life of pale ales and IPAs. So he got some and had some, and he gave me some, but then he kept some in his fridge. And then like months later, or I think it was like I think it was at least a year old.
Oh, I thought it was at least 2 years old.
Yeah, maybe it was, but he had it in his fridge this whole time. And then when we like were having a bottle share, he was like, "Oh, I got this Trillium I'm going to bring," and I'm like, "Sweet." And then I see it, I was like, "Holy shit! They've been canning for how long now?" Like this is a throwback, and it was a what was it? Fort Point.
It was a Fort
Point.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mofo Po.
You had to drink it though.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The first beer I ever got from them was Congress Street in a bottle.
Me too. I'm pretty sure it was Congress Street.
Yeah, and now it's still one of my favorite beers. Double Dry Hop Congress is up there in like one of my top 5.
Yeah, I think
favorite beers.
I don't know if that's the one Dumont brought me, or I know Joey K brought me a bottle or two before, and he's been on the show before. Shout out Joey K. And I was drinking it. I think I was drinking it with him, and we just looked at each other like, "Holy shit! This Trillium stuff is incredible!" Like
Yeah.
it was just groundbreaking at the time.
That's what my brother-in-law that I mentioned. He was stationed in San Diego when I first met him. So he was Stone and Ballast Point, all that West Coast stuff. And he was like, "I hate IPAs. I won't drink them." So I made him come to Trillium with me, and I give him a glass, and he was like, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah.
So we drank it. This is not an IPA. Yes, it is.
That's an idea.
And it just changed his world. I mean, it changed all our worlds. Everybody thinks IPAs are bitter and piney and resiny, and they don't have to be.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I mean, my mom and my mother-in-law drink our IPAs now. So like that's a testament. Like my mom wouldn't even drink a Coors Light, and she'll drink anything that we make.
She was a Boone's Farm girl.
Yeah. Seriously.
Let's not look down on the Boone's Farm.
I'm not looking down on it. It's just not quite the same flavor profile.
Good call.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. My wife, man, she's falling for it too. It's nice that we can, I can crack open a couple IPAs and try a few because I get to share them with her.
Well, I hear you. On a Friday night, I'll open 10 cans. And normally, if it was just me, obviously, I would be in a mess the rest of the weekend. But there's 2 of us drinking them throughout the course of a night.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're never 10 of the same ones. We get to try a bunch.
That's awesome.
Stop trying to make being an alcoholic look fancy.
You're in pretty decent shape for drinking all those beers. Hey, listen, Patreon's about to come up. So, guys, if you took the time to listen to us, first off, thank you so much. We really appreciate you guys. I've got some interesting topics for Patreon. I saw the Sonic movie. I want to talk about Jim Carrey, his return to film. I want to talk about MH370. Do you guys remember that Malaysian plane that disappeared?
Yes.
And like they never found it?
Yes.
That shit's crazy. I got a lot to talk about.
You found it?
I found it.
Thank you.
These guys, Locust Lane.
Yes.
Get there.
March 7th.
March 7th,
This Saturday, March 7th.
noon till close.
Come get drunk with us.
Go see him. I'll be there at some point. I'm bringing John.
I'm going to try to be there. We'll be there. Absolutely. Guys, if you took the time, we really appreciate you. Thanks for listening. Guys, thanks for being on the show. We appreciate you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Patreon.com/MBN Network if you want to hear the rest of the show. We'll see you next time. Thanks.